This video goes through graphing linear equations using the x and y intercept method, which is the preferred method because they're critical points on any graph, not just a linear graph. So the first one here, I've got 3x minus 2y equals 12. So to find x and y intercepts, we let x equals 0 for the y-intercept and y equals 0 for the x-intercept. And you do that every single time. So if I plug x equals 0 into my equation, which is 3x minus 2y equals 12, I get 3 lots of 0 minus 2y equals 12, negative 2y equals 12. I then divide both sides by that negative 2 because y is being multiplied by negative 2, and I get y equals negative 6. So my coordinate is x is 0, y is negative 6. Now for y equals 0, I've got 3x minus 2 lots of 0 equals 12. 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3 because the x is being multiplied by 3. So that means my x equals 4. So my coordinate is 4, 0. So when I draw up my axes, I need to make sure that both the 0, negative 6 fits and the 4, 0 fits. So I need to go up to or down to at least negative 6 on my y-axis, and I need to go across to at least 4 on my x-axis. So as you can see, because I'm going up to negative 6 on my y-axis, I'm making sure my y-axis is further up my grid, and because I'm going to 4 on my x-axis, I've made sure my y-axis is more to the left of my grid. So I hope that makes sense. It doesn't have to be in the center if it's going to help you graph. I need to label my axes, x and y, and I need to put my scale on. Now in regards to scale, it doesn't have to be the same on the x and y axes, so I could go up by 1s on my x-axis but go up by 10s on my y. It really just depends on what I'm graphing, okay? And that depends on the type of question that I'm answering. So application questions, you might have your y-axis in terms of dollars, so you might want to go up in bigger graduations. So now I need to plot my points. So I have 0, negative 6, and I have 4, 0. Now using the XY intercept method, you are only plotting 2 points, so you don't have that third point to make sure you haven't made a mistake. A lot of the times I will just plug one in just to get a third point to make sure. So if I had x is negative 1, for example, and that's going to help me graph on my computer anyway. So if I had x is negative 1, and I could just do this in my head, but I'm just going to show it here so you can see what I'm doing. I just see what the number will be. So negative 2y, I have to take 3 over, so I add 3 to both sides, 15, so y is negative 7.5. So that will be here. So that's going to help me graph on my screen, but it also gives me a check to make sure that my other 2 points are correct. So just something to get into the habit of doing when you're sketching using the x and y intercept method. I do want to get students out of using a table of values though, because your x and y intercepts are your critical points on a graph, and when we get to future units, it's important to be able to find them. So that's my equation, and I have to label it, sorry, that's my line, so I have to label it with the equation, 3x minus 2y equals 12. Things to note, I have arrows on the end of both axes, and I also have arrows on the end of my line because it means it keeps continuing, it doesn't just stop. Now when we have an equation in gradient intercept form, so y equals mx plus b, like this is, I still want people to be doing x and y intercepts. So we've got x equals 0 and y equals 0. A lot of students feel that if it's in this form, you have to do a table of values, but you don't. So I've got y equals 4 times 0 minus 8, which is 0 minus 8, which is negative 8. So that's the coordinate 0, negative 8. And when y is 0, I have 0 equals 4x minus 8. So I take the 8 over because it's minus 8. So to get rid of it, I have to add 8 to both sides. So I've got 8 equals 4x. X is being multiplied by 4. So to eliminate it, I do the opposite and I divide both sides by 4. So I have 2 equals x. So that coordinate is 2, 0. So I'm going down quite a lot on my y-axis. So I have to get down to -8. But for the x, it's pretty standard. So I'm going to put my y-axis in the middle. So about there. And I'm going to put my x-axis further up because I do have to go down quite a lot on my other axes. So in the negative y's. So I label my axes x and y, and then I put my scale in. So there you can see my scale is on my axes. And now plot my points. So I have 0, -8, and 2, 0. And again, just check a third point in your head or using your calculator. You don't actually have to include it. Oops. It's very hard to sketch on a computer screen. As you will see, this will be off. So I just need to move it a bit. Much easier for you with using your, make sure you use a ruler, but not being on a computer screen. I need to be accurate. So that's pretty good. And then I need to label it with y equals 4x minus 8. Now, horizontal and vertical lines. I have my axes drawn. I've labeled my axes. These should be easy, and yet students struggle immensely. If I have y equals 5, that means y has to be 5 everywhere on that line. That is only going to happen with the horizontal line through y equals 5. So it doesn't matter where I pick a point here, y is always equal to 5. Okay, it's the x coordinate that changes, but y is always 5. So this here is a horizontal line through y equals 5. You don't need any working for it. That is done. Okay, for y equals -2, now it's just a horizontal line, but it's through y equals -2. So everywhere on this line has a y value equal to -2. The only thing that's changing are my x coordinates. Okay, so horizontal line. Now if x equals 3, now I'm turning it into a vertical line because everywhere on that line x has to equal 3. So where is that happening? That's happening where x is 3. So everywhere along here, doesn't matter where I pick, x is equal to 3. So that's where my vertical line goes. Okay, so that's the line x equals 3. So this is a vertical line. I often give these questions in IMU to try and make it easier on you because you're not going through the whole process of finding x, y intercepts. Interestingly, it's done the worse. So x equals -4, it's also a vertical line through x is -4. So again, you don't need any working for these, you just need to sketch them. It's supposed to be the easier option. Okay, that's it.